Hey everyone, welcome back. It's my review of The Sunday Without God, episode 12, entitled Class 3-4, Part 3. This is the series finale, or the season finale, whichever. I'm not sure if they'll have another season or not. I'd like to tell you, I would love another season if they can find some way to do it really interestingly, because this episode doesn't really conclude it per se. It's kind of open-ended, I think, so it's not really necessary to have another season, but I would love one, though, honestly. Because this episode, okay, first off, there's everything up to the final scene, which was phenomenal. Okay, it really was. And then there's that final scene. I'll get to that last, like very last. First off, let's talk about the phenomenal part. This episode, just, wow, okay, first off, something, like, it was quite unexpected, because first off we have Dee, who's the one who shot, well, she didn't shoot every member of the class, but she shot, the one calling himself a Mayhem or something like that, alright, and she had the other students watch as he just got back up again, and then she told the students everything, which then their memory started to return. So basically she was trying to personally reset the world. Alright. Of course, you know, with I and the others in there so that they would be part of the infinite loop as well. Alright. However, after that we quickly learn, because Alice ends up seeing the reset and shows up, and he tells Dee actually that it was not her that died 14 years ago, it was him, because she fell out the window, so he tried to catch her but ended up falling instead and dying. So it was really him all along that caused the infinite loop, and not her. Alright, and of course all the students remember this now, and for some reason when this part did kind of confuse me. For some reason when this happens, the reset kind of ends. Like, I don't understand why exactly, but now it's at this part in the episode where it really starts to play with your emotions, because the world is beginning to, like, tear itself apart, I guess. And Alice is willing to stay there while everyone else escapes the loop in order to save them all. Obviously, you know, Yuri, Scar, and Scar's baby, because they weren't yet part of the loop, and he didn't want them to become part of the loop. You know, and Dee at first is against this. You know, she wants Alice to come along, and I's pretty much the same way, but Alice is intent on staying there and sacrificing himself so that the others can leave. And this is a really strong scene, alright, because nobody, including all the other students, wants Alice to just stay there, you know. But he even explains, like, he died 14 years ago. He has a grave in the outside world. He would not fit in very well. And so the episode basically ends before the credits with I hugging him tightly, then him shoving I through the door and whatnot. Alright, and that's all well and good. And this episode was phenomenal. The animation, the music, the art, the emotions flowing around. It was phenomenal. Like, episode rating overall up to that point, phenomenal. There's really no other way to put it. Alright. And of course, you know, with Dee, you can kind of feel for her, because she had no idea. It doesn't really explain this too well, I guess, so I can mention that why Dee thought that it was her when she apparently saw his dead body on the ground, it revealed in this episode. So why she thought it was her that was dead, I don't know. I don't know, maybe they both died and briefly, but it was for some reason him that started the loop. I don't know, but before she figures out, she actually says something interesting in this episode, which is that, you know, come back to life or whatever. To the other students, she says, come back to life if only you could wish that, which means that, which at first led me to believe that she may have had some, like, pent-up hate towards him for something for not wishing that, but that didn't really go anywhere, so I don't know why they put that there. So, but up to that point in the episode, phenomenal. It really was. Debatably the best episode in the series. By far. Debatably. Okay. Then we get to the final scene. No. No. It doesn't work that way. Why the fuck is Alice still alive? I mean, he still has the grave in the outside world, obviously. Meaning, history wasn't changed at all, but the final scene is where you see Alice and I stand looking at his grave in the outside world. Why is he still alive? Like, there's two things I have wrong with this. One, it kind of destroys the whole emotional factor that you had previously in the episode when you thought he was going to die. That's one thing. Alright, but another thing is that I would have still had a problem with it, but not as much if they would have explained it. Why is she still alive? Like, you can't just throw shit like that in there out of nowhere. It feels out of place and it just doesn't work, okay? So yeah, I guess I'd have to say this really isn't as good as episode 6. It's almost, though. That's the only thing, to me, preventing it from being a perfect episode. But they just had to... That scene was unnecessary. It did not have to be there, alright? The emotional factor is gone now because that entire scene was built up off the emotion that Alice is going to die and everyone is going to be very sad when he dies. Okay? I mean, it was drawn out, it was over-dramatized, but that's basically what it was. Now that we know he's alive, that entire scene made meaningless. Okay? That's my problem with that final scene. You know, that final scene was just a few seconds long. But that few seconds made the entire several minutes of that emotional scene completely worthless. Alright? And that's why I have a problem with it. So, yeah, it's just that one scene that's preventing this episode from being perfect. Alice should have just stayed dead to make the episode really perfect in terms of the emotions. Or rather, really perfect in general because of the emotions. Alright. But yeah, I think I'm going to stop ranting about that right now. So anyways, I'm done. Episode rating overall, the episode was still phenomenal. Despite that, the episode was still phenomenal, but it's not perfect, but it was so close to being perfect. So yeah. Anyways, overall, I hope you enjoyed this review, guys. These after guys, thanks for watching. Bye-bye.